What is up, beautiful people? It's Wolfbrother Mythos Kushvanada from the channel Frost and Fists, and welcome to this video. And this video is a long overdue showcase. So about halfway through last November, I did what I felt was unthinkable. And I took my favorite unit in my Space Wolves army and stripped it down to bare plastic. My Thunderwolf Cavalry. And then on top of that, I decided to make this project even bigger because I had 4 more Thunderwolf Cavalry still new on sprue, and finally put those together and said, hey, if I'm doing Thunderwolf Cavalry, I might as well do them all at once. Which really made this project a lot longer, but it really felt like it was worth it in the end. I just really got to a point where all my new color scheme, my new skill level of Space Wolves that I was putting out was overshadowing a lot of the stuff I did in my first year of painting, which is, you know, normal. It's natural progression, right? And I know everybody says that you shouldn't go back and do that because if you're always going back and painting your older stuff, you're never going to make any progress because you're going to constantly be stopping, stripping, and repainting your earlier work. Because we all, you know, as long as we're working at it, we're getting better all the time, right? But it was just such a disparaging difference. And I couldn't let, especially the thing that really made me stop and think about it is when I finished my Fenrisian wolves, you know, the little baby wolves, and I did a batch of those and they came out amazingly. I was really pumped and impressed with those. And I realized the little baby wolves were much better painted than their big, you know, their big brothers, the Thunderwolves. So I decided I had to make the Thunderwolves look good. And it was doing the Fenrisian wolves was a good practice on doing fur and, you know, making the wolf's fur look good. So I just had to do it for my big Thunderwolves and make it even better. So that's what I did. You'll see there's a variety of shields there. I didn't want them all to have the exact same shields. And to be honest, the shields that come with the Thunderwolf Cavalry set, they seem like small baby shields compared to some of the other shields I used. So I have one with a spare of Herald Deathwolf's shield because I wanted the Wolflord I made of Wolflord Mythos. I wanted him to have a special custom shield, so I happen to have one of those extra. I used an Age of Sigmar shield, I used a couple of Wolfen shields, but I basically wanted a variety of shields in there, so I wanted as few duplicates as possible. So there's a mix of shields in there, and I've done some pretty... I've worked at some of the highlights in some of these, especially the blues on some of these Space Wolves. Especially in the shields, so check that out. You'll see, if I camera captured it right, you'll see where these shields have a somewhat decent gradient of dark blues on one end, kind of fading to a lighter blue. So I really like how the shields came out. I don't know if it translates that well on photo, but they look pretty good in person. So hopefully, you know, you'll be able to see that. And then of course, you know, working more with the airbrush, some of the armor is highlighted up, you know, with highlighting up that black armor with some lighter grays. So, you know, hopefully this whole project of stripping and repainting them over, you know, there's actually highlights now. I'm using a variety of techniques. I really feel like these look much better, especially up close. I did go back and with my current theme, you know, give these guys who are basically Wolfguard on Thunderwolves, I gave them the wolf-headed helms because they are Wolfguard, and yeah, I just wanted them to really look, I mean, I feel like I nailed the aesthetic I was going for. Did power weapon effects on all the hammers and power fists. You'll see that most of the setup in the video is done with the hammers and power fists. That's just the way I like running my Space Wolves these days, where they can basically tear through just about anything. And you'll see kind of right here-ish where I also have a few variants painted up, you know, whether it's power axe, power sword, or even just a chain sword to keep it cheap, you know, if I wanted to go an anti-infantry build. And then from back in 7th edition when I first did up, you could take power lances, so I have one of those painted up too, but sometimes I still take it as an extra, you know, power sword or frost sword whenever I feel like it. Just because I love the idea, I've always loved the idea that as Fenrisian tribesmen, you know, using spears is kind of a thing, and it just never really translates over into the Space Wolves army once they become a Astartes. So I like giving my guys spears once in a while. So without any further comment, I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys how they came out. If you guys like how they came out, you know, then grab up an axe and smash that like button in the name of the Emperor. Or of course, drop me some comments down below and give me your feedback. What do you think of these Thunderwolves, my favorite models in the entire Space Wolf Codex? And of course, you guys are not yet subscribed to the channel, but we would love to have you as part of the pack here on the Frost and Fist. Until next time, guys, stay frosty.